Hey Wolfen, this is Egan talking about your Finale 2017 detail entry. It's like August 10th, 2017 right now. Been a couple days late, I guess, just because I've been doing other things. Yours is the first, is why I'm making an intro like that. So yeah, let me talk about your entry. I think it's an interesting idea. It does not really feel like a finale, because even though you have the cart just sitting atop a waterfall, you don't really have routes going to it. And I mean, what is that? It's like a King of the Hill point and a payload cart by itself, not really in a gameplay space. It just kind of feels more like a general sort of detail thing. And I looked up your profile on TF2M apps and also Steam. Maybe that's kind of stalkerish or something, but whatever. I looked you up just to like, who is this guy? And it said you were like interested in writing stories and things, so that makes sense, right? If you're looking into maybe like making like a, maybe even not for necessarily Team Fortress 2, but even like a Unreal or a Unity game, and you're just making like a layout and you're just having fun making like a general sort of video gamey story thing, that's really cool. I think that is really cool. And it was really cool the first time I was walking through the map, just like coming out of the caves. I was a blue guy at the time, so I could like actually open these doors, but it's just kind of like walking around and seeing the different routes, and how I walked in through here and then like fell off something. I'm like, wow, I'm like stuck in a one-way thing in this cave. It didn't really last that long, but it was still pretty interesting. I would say general sort of advice is that your displacements are really bumpy and noisy. Like especially here, this is the part I was trying to find, but it's just like kind of broken and busted. So here's a thing to look up: Top Hat Waffle V2 to displacements. If you look up that video on YouTube, then it's kind of a long video. I don't actually know how long. It's probably like 20 minutes or something like that. But Top Hat Waffle just talk about everything related to displacement making, and look up the V2 video, because the V2 is like the newer one. But yeah, there's like a lot of little things that you could learn, like how to make displacements smoother. Like there's a smoothing tool, and then there's like a sculpting tool that might help make things a little less boxy, and making sure that things are like actually connected and not just like merged a little awkwardly. It just looks a little bumpy and noisy. And then also too, there's a thing you could do with texture alignment to make sure that things actually like smooth around corners properly, and not just like instantly change to a new like Y position on the texture. Things like that. I think overall, if you had done that, or on like a future map, that it'd feel a little bit more natural, or a little bit more smoother at least, and just kind of convey the position a bit better. I would say generally for this map though, I would say like it looks like you haven't made too many detail entries before, so I don't want to be like too harsh on you, like, oh, this is fucking garbage or something, like, oh, I could do better. But like, you know what I mean, like it's cool that you put a lot of work into this, because I know that when I was starting out, detail areas take a long time, right? Like it must have taken you like a couple of weeks at least, right? A little bit of time. So I would say it shows a lot of potential, but maybe in like a future project you might want to think about a mood or an emotion to showcase also in the environment, because you've probably seen that game Dear Esther on Steam. It has a lot of like scenes that are very lonely, or like storytelling that kind of goes on just in the environment. There's like the stalagmites and the stalactites in the caves, and it's dripping and it's spooky and scary and it's calming, and the waves are rushing in, and then there's like areas you get to and you really feel like you're high up or something, or you feel like something's really far away or distant or scary or something, and you have like height here, but you can't really explore it unless you're gonna like die immediately. There's no way to really like look at the height, so that's kind of like out of the picture. And then even like a lot of the textures on this map are very gray, and the water is like basic. It looks like Half-Life 2 fancy water. I think there are like fancy versions of Team Fortress 2 waters if you wanted to like keep it a little bit more au naturel in the style of Team Fortress 2. But yeah, a lot of the map, even like in the caves a little bit, there's a little bit of emotion going on, but not so much. I kind of wish that there were like like there was like a landmark or a building. Sorry, I just stomach issues. Sorry, I burp a lot. Even like in this room, it doesn't really convey any sort of emotion or like a feeling of coziness or a feeling of remoteness. You know, maybe there's like a bip, 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 bip. You know, there's like a desk with like wires strung up and people are trying to get connected, and there's like a notepad and there's like jars of Girardi because someone was up here for a really long time, and there's like a sniper caravan somewhere. I don't know. I guess, you know, if this was like a detail entry, you wouldn't necessarily, I mean like a finale entry, you wouldn't necessarily have that. Now that I look at that podium with the payload, it really just feels like, oh right, this is a finale. Put that on there. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, but I would try to like tell a story a little bit more in the environment, just to make it a little bit like more interesting, instead of just kind of moving through a layout, that you're actually like exploring almost like a world, or that you're telling a story in the world a little bit. Oh, and I was going to say too, because I've actually made like 4 recordings of this map, trying to think about what would I even talk about. But you should check out the game TF2M for PC. You probably have, I think I actually I checked out your games on your Steam profile and you played the new Thief, but check out the old Thief and get the HD texture pack. And I know that there's like some guy who's played the original Thief, he's like, no, don't get the HD texture pack, but I found the old Thief really clunky visually, stylistically, and with the HD texture pack, I don't know, I found a lot more digestible to play. But there's a lot of like cave areas in the original Thief that look a lot like this, and they're really, really spooky. And they've got like zombies, and you don't have any weapons. You can't really fight back. Or you do have a weapon, you have like a club or something. The matchbox or whatever the heck it's called. But yeah, it feels a lot like this. So maybe you even like played the original Thief and got inspiration from that area, because it kind of looks like it a little bit. But yeah, you might find that game a little bit enjoyable. The cave level is like the second one in that game, so you don't have to play for more than like an hour to find it. Alright, so that's it. Yeah, maybe check out Dear Esther, check out that Top Hat Waffle displacement tutorial, and also maybe play TF2M with the HD texture pack. Alright, good luck. See ya.